Hello and welcome to another episode of Ready. This is your favorite divorce group where we discuss everything about real estate, divorce, and you. And as you all know by now, from time to time, we like to have special guests on our show. And today we have somebody that's very special to me, somebody I talk to probably on a weekly basis, and that's Bill Dobinski of BB Custom Clothiers. Bill makes a lot of my suits, pants, jackets, shirts, and also does for a lot of people in our community. And come to find out, he does it more for than just my group of friends. I'm talking to people like, oh, who does your suit? I tell them Bill Dobinski. Oh, I heard he does my friends, or he does my coworkers, or he's done something for me. And it's just incredible. Bill's our celebrity over here, and especially in the suit world for us guys. I understand he does women's stuff too. And the reason that I wanted Bill on today, and he'll tell you more about himself and what he does. But the reason I wanted Bill on today is a lot of times with our divorce clients, or even if somebody's trying to save their marriage or recently after a divorce, it could apply in both situations. And I have a lot of people say, hey, my wife is upset with me. She's contemplating divorce. She thinks I don't give special attention on our date nights, or I don't clean up, or I don't whatever. And sometimes those people I've sent to Bill and they've gotten a new suit. And believe it or not, it's shown some effort. In other situations, after somebody's recently divorced, they might want to ramp up their wardrobe. So we can get more into those details. And Bill, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I've been in the clothing business for 30 years, observed how men behave before, after, and during a marriage. And it always fascinates me that guys take care of themselves and look great prior to, while they're dating, and then after they get married and they have kids, their personal wardrobe starts to take a back seat to everything else in their lives. And the next thing you know, it's 10 years have gone by, the marriage might have fallen apart or just lost its luster. Mm-hmm. And their wardrobe is now 10 years old, and they're putting on a suit for the first time or a sport coat, and they think they're looking great until they walk into a room and it is dated, and their self-esteem goes into the toilet.
Self-esteem is really important, and
huge.
And like we've talked in the past, is that you need to work on yourself before anything else. It's hard to be a good partner or even be a good at your job or whatever it is that you're focused on or need to focus on, unless you feel good about yourself. And
right.
and I think Bill helps make that happen. At least for me, he does. And even this outfit I have on.
He's your secret weapon. You're giving away your secret today. Why you always look so good. Why you're always best dressed. Bill, you do a nice job.
And actually, Bill, as you say that,
I'm beautifying the world one suit at a time.
Yes, you are. Well, what I was thinking about? So I was thinking about this episode, and I'm so glad that you're here, because I think, some people are like, well, why would you have someone that focuses on clothing? And it's actually perfect, because you've already introed really nicely with that. But take us back to COVID, which I know no one wants to go back there. But do you remember at first, those of us are used to getting dressed up and going out. At first, it was kind of like, oh, I can see in my pajamas.
I get a break
all day long. This is cool.
Yes.
But you got into that a week and you were like, wait a minute. Your self-esteem plummeted. Your productivity plummeted. We should have all had perfectly clean homes, all organized. Everything in that house should have been perfect because we were there all day long. But yet, because our mindset was so down in the dumps and I wasn't dressing up. I didn't put on makeup. I heard some people weren't even showering. So the point is, it's like literally... You follow that, like how you look. I don't care what anyone says. Some people say they don't care, but it's true. How you look does really determine how you feel in a lot of ways. And I think we proved that, being stuck in COVID land for a while.
I love what I do, because when I get somebody in the perfect outfit, they're literally 2 inches taller. They stand up straighter. They walk with some pride. And you can tell when someone feels good when they walk into a room. And you can tell when
you see that confidence, which is part of self-esteem, which is part of self-awareness. You're aware of how you feel. And when you know how you're aware, you present yourself as you walk into the room, that shining star, because it's in the eyes.
Oh yeah,
You can definitely tell 2 inches taller.
it's in the walk.
It is in the walk.
There's a strut.
swag.
Yeah, a little strut
Little swag
involved.
going.
Yeah.
Yes.
A couple things to pitch into there. Number one, I'm like raising my hand. I'm like that person, like with the wardrobe and everything is getting outdated. The last couple of years, speaking into like the talk about trying to lose weight, and we'll get into my weigh-in this episode or the
Yeah,
next one.
don't forget, Ken. I promised you on I think one of our very first shows, if not our first show, that if you met your goal, I was buying you a suit. And my suit guy I was talking about is Bill, who's here today. So that offer still stands.
All right.
It's and you know this stuff that you hit it, but just to hear you speak into that and hear you talk, and actually, I love coming every single episode looking at Jeff. I'm like, man, I wish I looked as good as Jeff and had all the
shoes.
nice outfits and the shoes and everything.
The shoes.
But it really is, and that's the focus, and losing the weight. So hopefully get a few more off, and I really need to get with you because it's been a long time since I stepped into a room and felt that way. So thanks for bringing that enlightenment to the situation, because there's a lot of truth to it.
When you make that goal,
Yeah.
I mean, women do it too. When you lose weight, I know I lost weight recently, and I was excited to go shopping again because it was like, oh, good, like those 15 pounds that needed to go, finally got rid of them, and now I can go get something else. It felt good that some of my clothes didn't fit me well, so I was like, yes, I have to go shopping. It's like a need.
Well, and then going through the divorce process, if that's where you're at right now, you are already vulnerable, and to have that, it's hard to produce confidence in such a low time in life, and to start working on you and having that self-awareness and then it gets to self-esteem, then it goes up to confidence, and then everybody can see it. So it's inside, and eventually it bubbles up to the outside and people can see it. So I find walking into a room when you're in such a vulnerable spot, because do people know, am I going through a divorce? Do people know this is what I'm going through? And you're shaming yourself in a way. And that's how you keep going down, 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 and having that self-awareness of that you are potentially shaming yourself because others might know, or you want to try to be strong, bringing that back to yourself and bringing that awareness back to self-esteem, back to confidence, then dressing that way. It's like baby steps of growth.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So, Bill, question for you. How do you work? So if somebody were to call you up and say, hey, Bill, come change my world, what does that look like?
We set up an appointment. I come to you. So I'm completely mobile. I don't have a location. That way I get to see whether it's your office environment or your home environment. A lot of times I'll go and evaluate someone's closet, see what pieces are missing, try to help organize what they have to maximize the usage of their clothing that they have right now, and then add pieces in that'll enhance that. So maybe throw in a sport coat that'll already go with 6 pair of pants that they own.
Do you teach that? Because I like personal shoppers will do that. Sometimes they'll put together outfits that you never would have put together. I had someone that used to do that for me when I first got into real estate, because I had to change my word. I had to get, really professional. And she put things together that I never would have. So I love that you go in and say, hey, here's what you have, and maybe give them ideas on different ways that you wear it.
And the key pieces that they're missing.
Okay.
A lot of guys honestly want me to set up, when they buy a sport coat, they'll buy 2 shirts to go with it. So there is no question about dressing, because there is a learned talent that 30 years brings to the table. But guys don't have time to scroll and look and find fashion.
Yeah, they're not.
It becomes
Instagram.
overwhelming. How many shades are blue?
Right.
Maybe we should say most guys rather than all guys.
Okay, most guys.
They don't know the difference
Because
between navy
Jeff
and
took
polo.
3 of my outfits and put them together today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with what Bill says, with what's in the closet, even though these are all, everything I'm wearing, except for the shoes, were made by Bill, my shirt, which has the buttons that match the vest. The vest was part of another suit, actually. The jacket is part of another suit, which Bill made. And the pants were actually with another outfit. And just walking into my closet this morning, I looked, I'm like, boom, these colors all go together, and put that together, and they weren't really made for an outfit. So like Bill said, you can maximize the usage out of certain pieces by mixing and matching. And that's what's cool is, I guess a question for you, Bill, is when somebody new, and it sounds like you've already answered this, but just to clarify, so say somebody's recently divorced, comes to you, just moved into their new pad, and wants to set up their closet, maybe wants to feel more confident, start dating, or has a new job, or whatever the situation may be, and comes to you and says, I want 20 new suits. Do you go ahead and do 20 new suits, or do you start incorporating the wardrobe, see what they like, what their style is? I don't know on that. What do you recommend for somebody starting almost fresh, let's say?
First of all, the number one thing to do would be to try everything on that you own.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't feel good in it, get rid of it. Because otherwise it's just cluttering what you have. If you have to sift through a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't know if either one of you guys have ever done this, I have in the past grabbed a jacket out of my own closet, put it on, and was like, no, not today, and put it away.
I do that a lot.
Yeah. And if I can't love every piece I have, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I want to be able to grab it, put it on, be the best me I possibly can be, and walk out the door. And like Salvation Army loves me, and because I'll drop stuff off regularly. That if I'm tired of it, I don't want it, because I don't want to have to sift through stuff day in, day out.
Then your closet gets compact like your life.
And then you can build on that to make it better. And
let it breathe. Have a few key pieces. Have the fillers. Okay. I have.
Go
ahead.
But back to
you
Jeff's,
finish that.
Back to Jeff's point. I won't do 20 suits at once.
Okay, that's what I figured.
I started. I'm not in here for one in and out. I'm a lifetime haberdasher.
Yes.
I want to take care of your wardrobe for the rest of your life. So if we're going to do 20 suits and that's the plan, we start with one or two, perfect the fit, and then build from there.
Cool. And then we'll go ahead, Cece.
So staple pieces.
Okay.
There's a lot of memes going around. Steve Harvey is a big advocate of that.
Yeah, 6 pieces, 300 outfits. Yeah.
What are your staple pieces that you like that generally fits a lot of people? Kind of like, is black always the most powerful thing to wear?
Black has almost become out of favor in men's fashion. The black suit used to be the power suit, and now it's reserved to black tie optional or funerals.
That's what I was gonna say. Even for black tie, I wear bright colored. I mean, obviously, different types of things. I probably only have one black suit left that's a good fit, and it's my funeral suit.
And weren't you
a conservative funeral suit?
Weren't you asked to wear that at one point? A black suit
for a
in
funeral?
Life? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You remember, because sometimes I forget or go after work or before work, and I typically don't wear a black suit. It's just not something is my go-to. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're right. I did have to wear one for a funeral.
Isn't it just because you're not too matchy anymore? People used to. Well, you don't wear I'm not gonna wear black pants and a black jacket, kind of a thing. You're not like that kind of.
Well, I do.
Do you wear black pants and a black jacket?
Oh my gosh, all the time. I love black.
Okay, I do too. But if I'm wearing black pants, I usually I'll have. It might be a black with something else, but not just. Because then I feel like I'll get a flight attendant. You know what I mean? Like,
see, I don't feel that way. I feel completely different in the color black. It's more empowering for me.
I love the color black. It makes it
no, but when I wear like black and black, like I purposely could wear. I have red on right now, but I could wear black all day, and there are different shades of black. There's a noir, there's an off, there's metal. I think these are shiny, which offset. I don't know if I did that right, but I need help though.
Okay, well,
with confidence, with that confidence of building a wardrobe, even for us females, it's not very easy with shapes.
Oh, we don't have to dress for our shape. That's
right.
Now thing.
You look amazing in everything.
Oh,
Mine,
you're sweet, but that is not actually true. You haven't been in the dressing room with me. I don't look amazing in everything, and you hit the nail. You have to know, and I'm sure he can talk about that. You have to know what looks good on you, because I could see it. You know how many times I've ordered online and it looks great on the model, and then I get it and I put it on and I laugh and I'm like, well, I'm not a 6 foot tall Russian model, so that's why this doesn't look good on me. And it's like I don't even bother sending it back. But you're very sweet to say that. Yeah. But it's not true. It's like I've learned over the years. I look pictures. 10 years ago, and I'm like, why did my friends let me wear that? I know they love me. Why didn't they say something? But it's like you get into a place where you realize it might be the style, but it doesn't look good on me. So I'm not going to wear it.
Yeah. And it comes a point, I'm 60. So there comes a point that you can't wear what the current generation's wearing because you wore it 30 years ago or 40 years ago. And you look like you're living in the basement of your parents' house still.
Oh, heavens.
So you have to dress age appropriate. You can't wear the most current fashion unless you want to wear mom jeans again, ever. And I will never wear high-waisted jeans ever again in my life. But that's the current thing now.
I had one, and my mother showed up, and she's like, you need to go take those off right now and hand them to me. And I'm like, what? No joke. But she's Italian. You don't say no to an Italian mother. So I walked in, changed, handed it to her, and she went right over to the garbage and threw them out. She's like, and we're done.
I've got daughters like that.
And we're done.
Which are the jeans that I bought you?
My daughter, once I said, what do you think of this? And she looked right at me and she was like, take it off and burn it. Like, I'm like, all right, so we're not wearing this ever again. So you need people like that in your life that will be honest.
Tell us a little bit about, you told us when somebody first, a new client, and when you go and observe their closet or have them maybe try things on and go through that process. But what is the actual process? I mean, I know it, but just so our listeners and everybody else understands, what's the process after that? Is it something where somebody tells you, I want a blue suit, I want a red suit, whatever, and you pick it out? Or how, can you tell us a little bit about that process and how interactive it is?
So when I show up to an appointment, I will lay out close to 350 fabrics for suits alone. And we will go through them. The one thing that guys don't know is what they don't know. So they might in their head think they need a blue suit because they've never seen a burgundy fabric.
Yeah.
And burgundy suits are gorgeous on guys. I mean, it looks phenomenal. And they're stuck with the blue, black, gray, which are your three basics. That's the core. I'm touching on your point. If you're going to start out with a suit, a closet with suits in it, it's blue, black, gray. Blacks for your funerals, blues for your business, grays for after 5. And then you build from that. You can add a sport coat that matches the blue suit pants. You can add a cool pair of plaid pants that'll match the blue jacket. So you can expand on that. But get your core done first. And then after that, I show up with a burgundy or a dark teal or a green in colors that guys don't normally see off the rack, which is what makes it custom and what makes it look like you take care of yourself, which puts out a better presentation to the rest of the world.
Yeah. And then after the fabric is picked out, what are the next
then we
steps?
go through
all the fun stuff, right?
Oh, details. What kind of collar you want, peak or notch, whether you want patch pockets for a more casual look or a finished pocket like what Jeff has.
Yeah.
Then you pick out the stitching, what color you want the buttonholes, what color you want the inside. We have matching interiors
Oh,
today.
we do have matching interiors today.
Ta-da.
Yeah, matching
What is that
liners.
called? It's called Traveler?
This is the Traveler.
Thought I
line.
heard that.
Yeah.
And it's cool because my name is right here on the inside. And as most of you know, I'm a cigar smoker, and Bill puts a cigar pocket in here for me so I can put my cigars in the jacket.
Nice.
Without them getting damaged, and keeps them nice and
Look at that smile.
secure
I'm
and
happy
ready
you
for
did
the
that.
day.
Look at the
Just
confidence.
No,
adding
it's
a
really
pocket.
it's really exciting, and I enjoy it a lot. I've sat down with some friends and family members. I've sat with Bill before who might not get as excited or not go into the meeting as excited and kind of dreading it. I got to pick this stuff out. But at the end, they're so happy they become addicted and want to do it again. And I've had, car guys, and I'm a car guy too, and I like cars, and it's always fun to pick out the interior and exterior and the wheels and all the trim on your car when ordering a new car. Well, I've had car guys equate picking out a suit with Bill like building a car and designing a car. You're picking out the buttons, the stitching, the liner, the shirt with like this one. If you notice, the initials are the same color as the stitching in the jacket. It matched the
Look, you should
vest.
stand
So
up and
the
model
buttons
this at
do.
some point. We'll
So-
put on the music for you. You better
But
work
it really is exciting. And the color of the stitching, even if your name inside the jacket, and all the different types of liners. So anyway, my point is, it is at least for me, it's a fun process, but it also has you customize something that's unique to you. And even if you don't know what your style is, say you're recently divorced or trying to spark things up and you don't know what that style is, Bill's there to offer guidance. A lot of times, I might be all over the place, and Bill's like, no. Here's you're choosing between these 3 buttons because these 3 buttons. Let's narrow it down rather than just look at everything, and helps a lot with that. And then a lot of times I'm like, whatever you think, let's get it. Whichever one you think, and obviously I've gotten to trust him over these years, and so that helps quite a bit. And then, as you said, the convenience of it, and somebody that is maybe recently divorced and juggling a parenting schedule that they weren't used to before, and maybe having to work longer hours to make up for supporting 2 households versus 1. Sometimes it's tough to get away and actually go into a retail store, go into somebody's shop to meet with them. What's convenient about it is Bill has met me at at the cigar bar, or at my house, at my office, wherever it may be, at our club in Detroit, wherever it may be. It's convenient in that sense, and at least I'm a believer, and I think, and I've seen it in a lot of my clients, to where it could change their confidence, absolutely, whether it be working towards saving their marriage or towards starting a fresh new personal life after the divorce is gone.
Yeah, and it helps get your identity back.
That's a good one, but
Women buy houses to fix up. They no matter how nice the house is, they have to make it a fixer-upper. Where men want a move-in ready house, and that's how they choose their husbands. They find somebody that has good bones, and then molds them into what they want. So by the time the divorce happens, or later on in life, through the marriage, they no longer have their own personal style or identity. It's their wife's style and identity. So after a divorce, it is really important that you get that identity back. And when you get to pick the stuff, and you get to decide what, even the little buttonhole color.
Yeah.
It's funny. I sit down with age ranges from 22 all the way up to 70, and everyone turns 12 when we're picking out details, because they get so excited that they get to pick every little detail.
Yeah.
And then later on, that translates when they get a compliment, that it's not only a compliment of what they picked out, it's what they designed. So it's even a bigger ego booster that they're on the right track.
Yeah. And it's a story they get to tell. Somebody compliments them on their suit. All of a sudden they're doing what I did, opening up to the inside, start telling a story, and you never know what it leads to. No matter what your business is in, it could lead to gaining a new client, a business relationship, a romantic relationship. It could be anything. It's a conversation starter, and I try to make sure every piece is a conversation starter. And that's something Bill can assist with. And we definitely appreciate having you on here today, Bill. And if somebody wants to find you, how can they find you? What's the best way to find you?
They can email me at bill@billdobinski.com.
Okay.
Or call me at 248-227-5426.
Okay, great. Now, I noticed that we have some of our listeners send us questions and email us questions. One of the questions that came in today is what it should be, or what typically tends to be the biggest priority for somebody to focus on after their divorce is final. And
that's perfect for today. What a perfect question.
Well, what would you think, in your opinion, would be?
I mean, for me, 'cause I've been through divorce, but I think it's interesting that question came through. It's actually perfect, because I really believe your first priority is your mindset, is your confidence level, because divorce, basically, a lot of times you feel completely rejected. You can go from feeling there's levels of rejection. Sometimes people are just totally in the toilet. It depends on where they're at, but there's definitely a sense of, I wasn't enough, or I couldn't,
So it's your self-esteem, essentially.
Your self-esteem. So you have to work on that. You have to find something that pulls you up and makes you feel good about yourself again, and makes you say, hey, I may have to revamp my life, but that's an opportunity for me to be, who do I want to be? What do I want to do with my life?
Can I piggyback off that?
Maybe.
So,
Go ahead.
So what I've said bore, that
Pass the baton.
Thank you.
Your turn.
That self-awareness. So I'm going to go a little deeper. That self-awareness of starting with yourself and really sitting down and having a heart-to-heart conversation with yourself of who am I? Yes, you can get the clothes. It'll get you excited, but really finding out that core, because just like what you said, Bill, when you enter into a marriage, you both start defining each other. The wife might start pick out the clothes because the husband's busy working, but bringing that back in to finding out who you are and what you want to think of yourself, what you want your legacy to be, and having that self-awareness start in the heart and bolster out to what you said. So I'm just going to go slightly deeper in my response.
Okay.
I agree.
No, that's interesting. And, like we've been saying all along, is it's hard to focus on others if you don't take care of yourself. I think taking care of yourself is going to make you a better mother, a better father, a better employee, a better boss, a better, partner, whatever it may be once you take care of yourself. So that's probably our top answer for today's question. So thank you all for listening to us today. Thank you, Bill, for being here. We look forward to seeing you at another episode of Ready, Real Estate and Divorce Plus You. And you might notice on your screens, there's a red button. I believe it says subscribe. If you press that, you'll be able to get updates about us, and we'll be able to communicate with you, so you always know what's going on. We may put out teasers or info about who our next guest may be. We might be able to answer your questions, let you know what we're doing, or maybe you can even be a guest on our next show. So please click that subscribe button. Keep in touch with us. We'd love to keep communicating and providing at least the knowledge and information that we have and that we'd like to share with you. And like we always do, we're always open to having other experts join us, and whatever we could do to be that resource for you. And so that way, hopefully, we can give you a little bit of a peace of mind or provide some ideas and things to think about. Again, nice to see you all, and we'll see you next week.